I'm Michael Franzese, and as a made member of the mob, I spent my life mediating disputes, and always over a good meal. Now it's my brand of justice, my rules, and my decision. Welcome to the sit-down. Every time we meet here, someone is going to win, and someone is going to lose. Everybody that comes to this table has a beef over something, whether it be money, their reputations, maybe even a lover. And they all want a resolution, and I'm just the guy to give it to them. Todd runs a very successful auto parts business. Tony says he was his best salesperson and a good friend. But when Tony played a dangerous prank on one of his coworkers, Todd fired him. But is that really the whole story?
I met Tony approximately 2006. Hired him, fired him, hired him, fired him.
In the mob, all disputes are resolved in a sit-down, but there are strict rules. You always act respectfully and cut to the chase. My decision is final.
Todd's shop was a place where pranks were acceptable. So I thought it'd be funny to put something in Caleb's drink that would make him have to go to the bathroom quite a bit.
Gentlemen, you've agreed to sit down. You have a dispute among one another. You know my background, Mafia, La Cosa Nostra. Everything that we did, every dispute, every problem we had, we resolved at a sit-down. Win, lose, or draw, you accepted it and you moved on. And because of that, we were able to operate very efficiently as a major group in this country. The fact that we were doing crimes at some point in time, it's irrelevant. The fact that we were successful was important. You're up, Tony.
I had been working for Todd for quite a few years. Todd got upset at me for something, let me go. And I don't think he completely took into consideration my loyalty to the company, my dedication to my job, not to mention the amount of money I was making for him. Some of the other guys weren't as sales-oriented as I was, and they weren't. I would spend a lot of time on the phone with the guys,
but Tony,
the customer.
Let me stop you a minute.
Yeah.
Remember what you agreed to, okay? We got to be efficient here. You got to get to the point. Let's hear what Todd has to say.
He would basically rub everybody the wrong way in the office. Very stubborn. While he was still working for me, he chummied up with one of my guys named Caleb. You know, they're going out together, having drinks together. But next thing I know, Caleb comes to me one day, he goes, "Hey, my stomach hurts and I'm going to go to the bathroom. I drank my coffee, it tasted funny. I think somebody poisoned me." I said, who the hell would do that? I got 50 cameras in my office, cameras everywhere. Played back the footage that day, and I see him walking in clear as day, getting some kind of form of laxative, pouring in Caleb's coffee. And I said, am I seeing something wrong here? I couldn't believe it, you know? See, to him it's still funny, he's laughing about it.
But in my defense, in the office, there was quite the atmosphere of pulling pranks on people. One of the guys out in the shop had actually come in and shot me with a pellet gun before, several times.
Very nice. A little wine?
Sure, why not?
How about you, Tony?
Yes.
We look at the footage. I had him apologize to the kid. It's only fair. And he goes, "It wasn't me." He's still denying it. So then he goes, "Can I talk to you in private for a second?" I say, "Sure, no problem." I said, "Caleb, can you excuse us for a second?" Caleb goes downstairs. He goes, "Man, why'd you do that?" I said, "What do you mean why I did that?" He goes, "Why did you put me in the spot like that?" I said, "Tony, you poisoned the kid."
It was a laxative, right?
But he could have had an allergic reaction. We don't know that.
It was a really good laxative.
See, it's a joke to him.
Yeah.
If he went and filed a criminal complaint with his prior histories, he would have gone to jail.
You got a record?
Yeah,
A little bit?
yeah.
Todd, if you create an atmosphere where these guys think it's okay to pull pranks on one another, and it was a laxative he put in a drink, I mean, the worst thing is you spend a few hours in the bathroom. Unless you're allergic to laxatives, I don't know who is. I never heard of that, but, you know, could be a first.
Had Caleb come in complaining that he had to go to the bathroom all day, I would have laughed about it and told him I did it. It wasn't something I was trying to hide when I first did it. I thought it was going to be like a really funny joke. But it was like 2-3 weeks later when I got brought up to the office and got called out on the carpet.
I sat down with the best and the worst. And I also had 2 car dealerships at one point in time. You know, among other mob stuff that we were doing, I know the whole dealership rap. I know salesmen, believe me, I can see right through it. You're good. I might hire you for a while, but I'll tell you the truth, if you worked for me, it would have been a little different outcome than what this man has done. I think he's been pretty nice to you.
I'm asking him to be nice to me one more time. Give me my job back.
You got a problem with the truth, man. You know, you straight out tell him the truth. Either way, if this man has been good to you, I mean, he deserves the truth.
Hi there, gents.
All right, enjoy. Mange, as they say. When you create an atmosphere where guys are allowed to fool around with one another, you're asking for trouble, Todd. Things like this happen when you have somebody like him. But Tony, no excuse for lying. And you said if he would have approached you differently, you would have told the truth. I don't like that, not at all.
To me, it wasn't lying, it was avoiding admitting it at that point.
Do you think he's a liar?
Everybody lies. Everybody
yeah.
lies about their height, their weight, their eye color.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the question. Do you think he's a liar? He's sitting across from you right now. Would you look at him and say,
he's not
Tony,
a
you're
liar. He's a manipulator. He will manipulate you until you see it his way.
This kind of was my job, though.
I wouldn't call you a liar either in that
Thank you.
circumstance.
But I've told him from day one, don't ever bullshit me.
Had just said, hey, Caleb, let me talk to Tony. I'll ask him about it. I'd have told you straight out. First thing.
Why don't you just tell me that day, instead of making me look like an idiot and tell me, no, that's not me. That's not me on the footage.
You were looking at yourself on the camera. Why did you deny it? I mean, you're sitting in front of two guys, the three of you are looking at it on camera.
Yeah, I gotta
and
go
you
with that.
deny it.
Wasn't a good move on my part. It was like it
I
was
want-
like
you
if
know,
you're cheating on your wife and you walk in and all of a sudden there's your wife with your girlfriend and they both want an explanation. You know, all I could think of was to, are you kidding me? I didn't do that.
Lying may not be your only problem. If you have something to say to Todd right now.
I like making you money. Give me my job back and I will not let you down.
Todd, you heard him.
If I hire him back, I know he's gonna do his hardest to get with the program. He'll be good for a while, but then he'll go back to Tony way.
Remember, Mafia La Cosa Nostra, you're familiar with those terms. That was my life. When we sat down, at the end of the day, they were told straight out, this is the decision. And we try to make it as unbiased as possible. And you go along with it, and there's no questions asked afterwards. Now, Tony, you got some cleaning up to do. I understand where you're coming from because I dealt with guys like you all my life. And a liar is a liar. You know, liars always make an excuse. Well, if this were different, I would have done it this way. If this were that way, and if the circumstance was different, I could have done it that way. A liar is a liar. You caused it to go to the next level. He didn't. Todd didn't. Todd was sitting there and he didn't initiate this. You did. So you caused the whole problem. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand it.
That we're here because of you. Not here because of Caleb. We're not here because of Todd. Tony, honestly, I don't think you're a bad guy at all. As a matter of fact, sitting here, I got to like you. If I was on the street, I'd hire you again. You know, streetways are a little different than what we're talking about here. But I think, honestly, you're not a bad guy. But this was one incident. I would look at Todd and say, Todd, hire him back. I mean, come on, we got to have a heart here. Everybody's got to make a living. It was a stupid thing that he did, darn stupid. But my decision, I wouldn't rehire you. You leave here as friends, you shake hands, but you go about your business and let Todd handle his. And with that, gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Okay?
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
I'm a little disappointed Todd wasn't a little more accepting to the idea of giving me my job back. I understand his reasons. I appreciate the opportunity to explain my situation and even make the request.
I think, again, Tony's a good guy. He's a liability, and Michael made a lot of sense.
The decision was just, and I think it was really helpful to the two of them at the end.